Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? I want to welcome you to Lil J Show. I am Lil J. Hey, I hope everybody is having a wonderful and blessed day today. I hope it is going absolutely amazing for you guys. So, on today's video, I want to talk about these encounters where people are having encounters with demons, God, and Satan. So, a few videos back, I did say I was going to start sharing, you know, my experiences, sharing my life story and experiences, the things that I've had to deal with in my life. Uh, Whenever I find videos that I can relate to, or, maybe that I have a similar experience with, I'm going to share these. I'm going to share parts of my life dealing with death, uh, celebrities that I've ran into, and also dealing with things like this here, demons, Satan, God. There's a lot of videos out here where people, they've had these encounters where they've had these near death experiences and something came to them and they've, talked to certain people or they've got to see certain things while they're going through this, while they're in a coma or fighting for their life, And before I had my experience, I always thought, man, this is cap, man. People just trying to, I ain't gonna say clout because, I wasn't, that word wasn't around back then, but I was, they just trying to get attention, you know. But I had a traumatic experience. Well, it wasn't traumatic, but it was something that I'll never forget. Never ever forget. My encounter with the demon. And I'm gonna talk about that. I'm going to share my experience after we watch these two videos. There are two videos where, you know, these people had these encounters. Uh, I'm going to start out with this lady right here. She said, I don't know if any of y'all have seen this interview, but it came from We Need to Talk podcast. It's a really good interview. And this lady is going to explain her encounters. I'm not going to play this whole video. If y'all want to see it, go to We Need to Talk podcast and check out this lady on on what she experienced and how she did it. I don't know her name, but you can go to, once again, shout out to We Need to Talk podcast. Um, on this part that we're going to watch, uh, she's talking about her having an encounter with God, and he was taking her to different places. And the one place he did take her to was hell. HE double hockey sticks. And also, while she was down there, she got to see a certain artist. So I'm gonna let her tell you what she's seen, who she's seen, and what they were doing and what happened to them. And we will chop it up on the other side of this little part of the video. Let's check it out.
Love is the key here.
My Lord.
Love is the key. It's about love. It's about love. It's about love. When you love, you will obey. Simple. Now, you said something else.
Salvation.
What'd you say about salvation?
Salvation. God's gonna make sure you get to heaven.
Make sure that to me in the Bible. Show me book, chapter, and verse where it says that God's going to make sure.
Well, some people will say that the scripture says that he is faithful to complete the things that he starts.
Okay, stop. He's faithful to complete the things that he starts. He didn't start sin.
Right.
So, because he didn't start sin, he's not going to finish it. He starts holiness, righteousness, salvation, living right, forgiven. So everything he starts, he will.
Okay, so for those of you who don't believe, I mean, maybe this part is not for you, but she is going to get into the actual part where she had these encounters. So if it's not for you, you know, just bear with me for a little bit. And I advise you guys, to stick around to listen to the end of the video, listen to my story and what I experienced.
Finish. Oh, that's right. The word is true. But he didn't start sin. Next.
What was some other things that you saw that you remember?
I saw Biggie in hell. Yeah. I used to love Biggie Small. He used to have this song called Give Me One More Chance, and I used to love the extended remix. Oh, I used to be in the club, boy. That was my jam.
Hey.
2016, I was in Dakar, Senegal. And I saw this particular female on Facebook. I won't call her name, but I saw her on Facebook, and she was professing to be a child of God, but she was at the wax museum, and she was hugging this wax
Figure.
doll,
Yeah.
whatever it was. She was hugging this copy of Biggie, saying, this should have been my husband. I said, Lord, what in the world? This woman's supposed to be a child of God, and you in there talking about this ungodly man supposed to be your husband?
Mm.
An hour later, Jesus Christ took me from that room into hell. Hear me now. Hear my words. With no dream, for all, some of y'all saying I'm having dreams. With no vision, I was physically out of my body in hell, standing beside Jesus Christ himself. There's this cave-like area, and it was pitch black. And there was these two, the demons was the demons was darker than the darkness. You didn't even know it was demons there until you saw the whites of their eyes. That's how you knew that they was creatures. And these demons had to be 13, 14, 15 feet tall. And they were standing in front of a jail cell. A jail cell in hell. A jail cell in hell. The bars went up and down, and they were dug into the top of this cave-like area and then dug into the bottom. And it was just a carved out area of a cave room. And there was nothing in this room, just carved out area. And Biggie was holding the bars, but he was on fire.
Wow.
From the inside. He was burning from the inside. Like somebody put a bomb in his belly, he exploded. I saw him, and I'm standing there looking at him. And I asked Jesus, I said, Jesus, why is this man here? And these are the words Jesus said verbatim, is written on record in heaven. This is what he told me. He said, this man, he ain't even call him his name. He said, this man told me he didn't need me. This man went to a fetish priest and got charms he carried around in his pocket to become famous. And he said, this man.
Wait, what did you say?
This man went to a fetish priest and got charms that he put in his pocket that he carried around to become famous. You don't know nothing about that? Oh, America, America.
I didn't know nothing about that either.
There are witch doctors who are given a semblance of power by demons, by Satan himself. And it's practiced a lot in Africa and other countries.
Yes.
It's not practiced as much here.
Yes.
But it's practiced a lot in Africa. Where there are real witch doctors. That's all they do 24/7, 365. They live in their little witch doctor huts or witch doctor tents, and they serve Satan. And they take these little charms. It could be an earring. It could be a piece of a rock. It could be a piece of a cloth. And they do incantations over this charm, and they give it to the person. And demons follow that charm. And whatever that person asked of from that witch doctor, those demons make happen. That's it. That's what they do. And he believed he was a king. And Jesus said, but mostly it's because he told me he didn't need me. When Jesus finished speaking, them two demons, one demon told the other demon that he wasn't speaking in English. He was speaking this language I ain't never heard, but I knew what he was saying. He was saying, because he was pointing. They had staffs. They had poles. I don't know what's up with the staffs, but they had these staffs. And he was holding the staff with his right hand. He pointed. He said he was telling the other demon to get him out of that cell, and they're going to take him for more torment. So when they came out the cell, fake king's robe appeared on him, fake crown, and they took him and put him in a juicer.
What? A juicer?
Now, in the spirit realm, you have a permanent spirit body. In hell, you still feel like you have bones. You still feel like you have blood vessels. You still feel like you have the same organs you had here. What you don't, what you do, you feel it. And he felt the pain of breaking bone, muscles and ligaments and tendons, his skull being cracked and smashed. He felt that. And then
Oh,
it was all on the floor in a big mush pile. And then his body just came back together. And then they put him back in his cell. And when they put him back in his cell and closed the door, he exploded on fire. Like somebody put a...
what? She said she witnessed this. She witnessed this. Are y'all listening to what this lady said that happened to Biggie? Notorious Big, B.I.G., Big Papa. He was put into a juicer and he was crushed. Skull was crushed. And it turned and it came out on the floor like a big blob. And then it reformed itself back into Big. And let's see what.
bomb inside his chest and he exploded, but his body didn't do nothing. He was just burning from the inside.
So once it formed back into Big, they stuck him back in that cell. You understand what this lady is saying? They stuck him back in that cell, and then his body caught back on fire, but from the inside. I mean, I don't think she would make that up. And if she did, she's wrong for that. But I don't think this is made up. This is something that she's seen. This is something that she encountered. God was trying to show her something. This is like real. This is what happens when you go to the HE double hockey sticks. This is what it's like. He was trying to show her. And I don't believe she's lying. I really, really believe that she witnessed this. This is terrible.
Yes, he's in hell.
Mm.
He told Jesus he didn't need him.
You see, that's. I don't want to start preaching, but I really think that's the wrong thing to say. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care if you feel like you are on top of this world. That's you still need the Almighty. I mean, I just don't feel like people they just don't understand that nothing is possible. I mean, you need him. He's the one that wakes you up every morning. He gives you breath. He gives you life. You know, everybody say, you need to thank somebody for being on this top of the ground. And that somebody in my life is God. And I'm thankful to know, I am thankful that I know him. I don't know him like I should, and I'm learning, but I am so very thankful. I pray each and every night, every morning before I get up, and I'm so thankful that I know who he is. Well, I'm learning. It's a learning experience because, like I said, I've witnessed some things, and this is firsthand. Like it just, I know that this thing is real. That spiritual warfare is really real. It is really real, and I believe her 100% in what she's saying. A lot of people like me back in the day, I would have been looking at this like, oh man, she's crazy. Oh man, there ain't no way. But it took me to see what I seen for me to say, okay, hey, I can believe her. So this is what she experienced. She's seen the celebrity Big, the rapper, in hell. Some people may not want to hear that. Especially a family member, or a really loyal fan. May not want to hear these things, but you know, some truth to it. You can tell by the way he lived. He rapped about that stuff. So, you know, I believe she's not lying. And if she is, that is like a really cruel thing to say. And make people or try to make people believe that she's seen this. This is really cruel if she did. I don't think she made this up. But we're gonna go to another little guy, man. This is another rapper. I mean, he had a terrifying experience, Uh his little I think his name is Lil Tony. He used to be out there wilding in the streets, but I believe he ended up he turned his life over to God after what he experienced. So let's check him out, and we're gonna chop it up on the other side. Let's check him out. So this is Lil Tony. You know, uh, he's basically saying what everybody's been saying for the past year or so since this happened to Puffy, which it's been going on well before everybody's been saying, it's demon. The music industry is ran by Satan, but his experience, man, it's just like this is really crazy. What he experienced, it would have scared me into wanting to do the right thing too. Uh, but let's get into it, and we'll chop it up on the other side. Let's see what he's talking about.
I want to tell you real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody who wants to be in the industry, understand what industry you are becoming of. Understand where you want to go. Because the music industry, the entertainment industry is ran by the devil. And I want y'all to know this. I thought it was cap. I thought the devil was cap. I thought God was cap. Now I ain't gonna say I thought God was cap. I just thought it wasn't no Illuminati. I thought it wasn't none of that going. But what I want folks to know is, I know you probably seen the story I was telling about me getting booked for a photo shoot and having a real encounter with the devil. So
Wait, you had an encounter with the devil?
yeah,
I didn't even know about that. Can you like?
they booked me for a photo shoot. This is what made me start getting into God right before I got locked up again.
Yeah.
This is how I knew God was talking to me though. I was straddling the fence still on belief. This is why I was telling you I didn't know what to believe because I was getting into all the spirituality. I ain't know what to believe. And God sent me a real encounter. So I went up. I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them like, how y'all get all this money? Like, how y'all do this? Like, they like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. I'm like, no, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, nah, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the Illuminati never talked to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him like, bro, you playing a game. Like, why y'all playing with me? Stop playing. Like, how y'all getting this money? He like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang?
Hold on.
He was like,
Wait. Did y'all hear what he said? That the person who does the initiations. Listen to this man.
what is you talking about, gang? He was like, he giving me a list of people who all did it. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was
Hold
basically
on. Let's go back to it. Let's go back. Listen to what he says and who does the initiations.
all the initiation. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I'm like,
I can go back far enough. Check it out.
why y'all playing with me? Stop playing. Like, how y'all getting this money? He like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about?
Leonardo DiCaprio does all the initiations.
Gang? He was like, he giving me a list of people who all did it. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was basically saying either you let them peg you or you do oral. and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you gotta let them do is just do what they want to do to you, just for a night. Basically do some gay. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, you playing, gang. You playing. So I'm still not trying to believe this. And he like, this when they get to laughing, they like, oh, we need to take him to the booty club. I'm like, man, stop playing with me, bro. He like, bro, I can make it happen. Now, while they doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. So I don't got no service. So I'm like, all right, I see which one need to work on me. They take off. The people who booked me, they take off. Like I tell them, I'm like, all right, y'all can take me to y'all Korean barbecue. I'm telling them this because they was telling me, they was like, when I start calling my Uber, my flight was finna take off. So they was like, man, your flight finna take off anyway. Let us just get you a hotel and you can come get some food at our Korean barbecue. I'm like, at first I was like, nah. But then I ain't had no service to get downstairs. Get down the hill.
Right.
So I'm telling them, take me down to the bottom of the mountain. When I'm not telling them this, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna let them take me to the Korean barbecue. Then when we get down there, I'm gonna just call me an Uber and go. So I tell them, like, take me down to a Korean barbecue. They're like, okay, Shmoo, good. Okay, boom. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me or take pictures, because he come up and he like to take pictures with celebrities to make him look like he was rich or famous. I get in the car with him in the 3-seater McLaren. This man, as we going down, see, on the way up, we go all the way up, like in the swivel, like all the way around the mountain. Yeah. On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. So I'm like, what the hell? So then that's what I try. I'm like, okay. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, gang. I'm like, Ishmael, I want to go get some McDonald's. He said, we not going to take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. This face change, gang. Whoa. In front of me. You see Venom? Like,
yeah, like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that. It wasn't like OD, like long, like veins, OD long.
Hold on. Let me go back. See what this man say.
Like,
yeah, like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that.
Let's do it again. Let's go back. Let's see what this man, he said. Listen to what he say.
Go get some McDonald's. He said, we not going to take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. This face change, gang. In front of me. You see Venom? Like,
yeah, like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, from Spider-Man.
Kind of like that. It wasn't like OD, like long, like the veins, OD long got his face. It was probably about this wide. Like, face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. Like, all I can say, bro, it was like, kind of like the Sandman. Like how you'll see somebody morph into something. Yeah. It's like that. It threw me all the way off. So I'm confused now. I'm like, okay. I didn't know how to get out the car. I would have been got out the car. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you got to push to get up out of there. Gotcha. So he backing in. Now he backing into somebody driveway. He smack a mailbox. So now he hit the button and he get up out of there. He hit the button and get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I run up to him like, hey, bro, let me get in the back of your truck. He looking at me like, well, yeah, no. I look at him. I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck, bro. Like, please, just take me down. Take me down to the bottom. Please, just take me down to the bottom. It was God. He took me down to the bottom. Like, if I were him, I wouldn't have took me down to the bottom. Some random trying to get in the back of my truck. Hell no. He took me down to the bottom, and I called an Uber, and I just left. The whole thing was just, I felt it in my spirit. Soon as I got up to the top of that mountain, it was something off.
Was something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen no motion like that. Like, where I'm from, like, 100,000, that's smooth. Like, we hunt, that's hood rich. You get you 100,000, you up 100,000, get you a nice car, a little spot, you good. Like, these folk having real money.
So you knew, like, based on their stats, like, there was something wrong. And
it wasn't even that. It was the fact of how, when I got up there, first of all, that whole mountain just felt funny. Then, when it was time for me to go, it started kicking in. when I was trying to get my Uber and I seen that they had me at the top of the mountain, no service, no nothing. And they came up here. Out of everybody, they came up to the one spot. I'm like, man, hell no.
You knew something was off.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you even then, like you knew from that moment, like, man, I can't be doing that. Even before you were fully submitted to Christ, and now looking back on it, it's crazy how like the devil will overplay his hand, and then you like literally, this guy's like, yeah, bro, we do demonic rituals, and it's like normal, and you're like, what? That's crazy. And now you're serving the Lord, and you're just like, dude, these guys. I think there's a big encouragement there just to let, like, our battle's not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, and I really believe the devil's overplaying his hand now. And
He definitely is. That's basically what I was saying though. I just wanted to give my testimony. The reason I'm telling this story is because it comes from me. Like, where I'm from, I ain't gonna say necessarily believe in the devil, but we don't really pay attention to the devil. Like, it's not big. We trying to get some money and stay out the way.
Yeah.
That's it. Get some money, get fly, stay out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me to actually see that in my face, I was just, see, what I'm trying to say is this coming from me, bro. If you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, then the people on camera, you ain't got to believe me. I don't care.
I believe you,
But if you know me, you know I don't do no capping. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I don't just lie. I don't just talk.
Yeah.
I really saw this.
I believe it.
And it made me, that's what like made me know that the devil and God was real. But that's what made me start to understand what is the real God. Since the devil real, what is the real God?
Yeah.
And within this last year, that was done 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was like a year and a half. But within this year and a half, that's what's been getting me closer to God. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you saw the darkness.
I seen it.
And now you're in the light with Jesus.
See, that's wild. So these people, I believe he said that they were Asian. These people, they booked him for a photo shoot. Take him on top of a mountain. He said after the photo shoot was done, he started, asking them, "Hey man, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to get to where y'all at. Y'all got these fly rides, y'all got this paper. Put me on." So they started explaining to him they do rituals, and basically they can take him to this person or whoever, and either he can slob this person down or let them, tickle his butthole, whatever you want to call it, for a night. And he said you can get anything you want. You can become a celebrity. You can become a millionaire, whatever you want. As long as you just give this person a night. Let them have their way with your body for a night. And he's like, oh, nah. Still not believing it. So he has no way to get back down to the mountain. He jumps in the car with the guy that's flexing. So this guy comes up there and he goes around, he takes pictures with celebrities to make, I guess, his people, whatever, his followers think that he's on. He know all these celebrities, he got paper, all this stuff. He's in the 3-seater McLaren. In which, if you don't know nothing about these I don't know if it's Italian or if these foreign cars, basically. They have certain ways where you can get in and out. So on the McLaren, it's a button at the top. You push in the door, they come open like wings. Well, my man, I guess his first time being in it, you know what I'm saying? He jumped in the car with the guy that wants to flex. You know what I'm saying? And he said that the way that they went up, they didn't go the same way trying to get back down to the mountain. So he kind of felt like something was up. And he said he tried, like, man, let me just test him. Told dude, hey, let me take me to get some food. And say, buddy Said, hell no, I ain't finna take you nowhere. We spent this money to get you up here, because they thought he was probably gonna go along with it, because of the money. A lot of people will, do whatever it takes to get on top or get this type of money. So he kind of like turned down, I guess, whatever they was talking. He wasn't with it. So they got him in this car, finna get ready to take this man to a house now and do whatever they, either they gonna unalive him, they gonna do something to him. It just so happened, he said that on the way down, he couldn't find out. He didn't know how to get out the car. So that's the only reason why he was still in the car. And just think, God was with this man. Because they get down to where they was at, going to where they was down to where these people was taking him. The dude that was driving just so happened he trying to bag into a driveway, and he hit the mailbox. So I guess he got out to check and see what kind of damage he did. Dude seeing how he opened up that door, so he pushed that button and he got up out of there too. And just so happened, just got again. It was a mailman. So this is like I guess broad day, because I don't think no mailman would be out at night. But excuse me, let's go back to it. He said as they was driving, this man got upset and his face changed. Like he showed his face like it was a demon. And I'm pretty sure you see some like that, it's gonna scare you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure this man was probably scared out of scared, terrorized, terrified. Some people, they might think of it and laugh and be like, I would have punched her. Nah, you don't know what you would have done in that situation. You never know what you would do in a situation like that. And then just think, if you would have tried to do something to that person, this dude is already morphed. He's whatever it is, it's morphed and so. So you like you want to be tough guy, punch him or something like that. You never know. He could just grab you and just squeeze your neck, broke your neck. It'd have been over. So you just never know what you'll do in that situation. So a lot of people might think it's cat. A lot of people gonna laugh at it, and this is not a laughing matter. This is serious. This is really going on. So I say the spiritual warfare. And these aren't videos that I usually do, but this is something that I just really wanted to bring to light. He's talking about the music industry. The other lady, she said just the encounters, where she experienced. But as I was saying, he found out how to get out that car. After seeing what he's seen, he got out of the car, and just so happened a mailman was coming coming out of somewhere, and he ran up to him. And he was like, man, give me a ride down this truck. Now you see this dude, he tattooed up, you know what I'm saying? He looked like he would be the one to be throwing up signs and, might get, you might get him like show, y'all get in the dang mail trucks, and he took everything, you know what I'm saying, pulled something up on you and took everything you got, including the truck. So the mailman, he had a choice, but the dude, I guess he seen the terror in his eyes and he gave him a ride. Thank the God, thank the good Lord that mailman did not turn him down and just went on ahead and gave him a ride, as he was able to get away from that. But, it just proves, man, that this spiritual warfare, there is good and evil. And there, it's a good thing that mailman had a heart, and he had to have seen the terror in that guy's eyes, because that mailman could have lost his job for letting that boy get into his truck, But I'm glad that he had the heart and he got him in that truck. Thank God. This is serious stuff. This is really serious. So, I did say that I was gonna tell my story on my experience. So I'm gonna say this was like 2000 it's like 2014, 15. Mind you now, so I'm living in Georgia, so I ended up moving up north Georgia, and I got into this rental house, and we had, I was dating this girl at the time. She had, I think she had like 3 kids, and we got nice 4 bedroom house, and it was kind of like in the country out, you know, but we started experiencing, certain little things. And my first, when I started noticing stuff was like, it's like every 2 or 3 days around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it would be like uh 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 a whole bunch of coyotes, and what the master bedroom was like on one end of the house, and then all the other rooms was on the other end. But it would be like a pack of coyotes right there in the backyard of the master bedroom, and it would happen like maybe 2, 3 days out of the week. And these things they would just get right there, and they would be howling. And if you ever really hear the coyotes, they don't sound like they sound on TV and stuff like that, man. Some of them, man, they sound like women are screaming, like how a woman is in distress, you know what I'm saying? They sound like that, and you get a whole bunch of them things making that noise, you know, it's annoying. It could be aggravating, especially at that time of the morning. But my first time I heard it, looked out the window, I couldn't see nothing, so I walked to the back door, turned on the light, opened the door, and I see all. I was like, "Oh my god!" I hurried up and shut the door back. You know, so that was kind of like things start happening. I started wasn't thinking about nothing demonic or anything like that. So, we starting to, like I said, just starting to peep game, just the feeling. And usually like it was like a neighborhood, it was one way in, one way out, cul-de-sac. So you could pull into the neighborhood, man, and you already automatically start getting this feeling. It just felt dark. It really felt dark. So and another thing, like you could be out, and this is true. I've heard this, and I can experience. I can firsthand say I know about this. Like you could be out having a good time, enjoying laughing and talking and stuff like that. But once you pull into this house, go into the garage, get in the house, attitude just changes, man. And I had a I had a rest in peace. I had a bully XL, and by this time, I think I had him for about 3 or 4 years already. So he's a pretty big boy in his prime. You know what I mean? And I had him house trained and everything, but uh, we would let him roam the house and everything. But he had a cage, and that's where usually he would sleep at. I had his bed, big old cage. I had his bed. He used to leave the door open, and he would go in there and sleep. Or I had like this little dog couch in front of my bed in the master bedroom. So I used to, people. This dog was like big. I just recently had him put down a few months ago. Um, is I'm still going through it, but he had stomach cancer. I had him for like 15 years. But at this time, like I said, he was in his prime, man, big old boy, big head, everything. But I started noticing like when everybody would be gone and we come back in, um, he would be in his cage and he would just be shaking. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this dog? Still wasn't thinking nothing demonic, nothing like that. Like I would notice that, and when you walk in the house, man, he just sitting in his cage and he just looking up at us with these sad, terrified eyes, and he would just be shaking a little bit. Like, what the hell, Not thinking. So again, I think I was driving, a truck then, and I had a load. I was dedicated load that I would go from Atlanta to Chicago. I would leave on Sunday mornings, and get down there and do what I had to do, be back. But back then they had I'm not gonna too much get into it, but the truck drivers they know. Back then it wasn't the ELDs, electronic logs. We had just manual logs. We did everything on paper, so you could cheat it where you ain't got to take your breaks. You could get. I would drive down there straight 12 hours, get down there. I would take a load of frozen chicken down there and then unload it, go around parts of Chicago, load up 4 or 5 stores, and drive back to Atlanta. So I would try to get through. I would try to get my stuff done, really not too much sleep. So I would leave Sunday, get down there Sunday night, load up half of Monday if I had to end up spending the night to pick up the rest of my load. Tuesday. But Tuesday was the latest that I would get out there. But I would usually be back anytime Wednesday. I would never get back, Thursday, Friday, nothing like that. I would always try to be back by Wednesday. So that would give me like Thursday, Friday, what I'm saying, Saturday, Sunday. But I would have to go and get loaded on Friday because the plant that I got stuff, they would be closing the weekend. So I would have to load up on Friday and just leave. But it's a whole bit. Anyways, I don't want to get into that one of these days. But anyways, so one trip we I get down to Chicago, and I usually get up in Chicago is like an hour behind Atlanta's time. So I would get up maybe like 5 because I would have to be at the place to unload this chicken by 7. So I would get up about like 5:30, brush my teeth, wash my face. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a BP. It was a BP, but it had truck parking. So I would always go there and park there. Sunday night and wait till Monday morning to do whatever I got to do. But I got up that morning. I brushed my teeth, washed my face, you know what I'm saying? And I would usually call home, make sure everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? Before I get my day started. So, I call home, checked out, make sure everybody was good, cool. I'll talk to you later, whatever. So I go into the BPs. They had a Dunkin' Donuts in there. I go in there and get a coffee, and they had this breakfast and egg, this bacon and egg sandwich that I would love. Go get it. So I'm coming. I get my stuff going back to the truck. I get back to my truck, and I got like 7 or 8 missed calls. What the fuck? It's from girl I was dating at the time. So I call, nobody answered. Call, nobody answered. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I had to be at the place by 7. So I get down the road. About 10 minutes into the drive, going to the place, I get a phone call. It's from old girl's brother. She like he's telling me like, oh man, a girl she passed out in the bathroom, hit her head on the, out of the blue, just passed out in the bathroom. She hit her head on the counter, and I'm taking her to the hospital. I'm like, damn, I'm saying, what the hell that shit come from? Nobody could explain it. Get to the hospital, they couldn't. It wasn't nothing wrong. They don't know what it is. They start saying that she was overworked, she was exhausted. You know what I mean? So, they whatever they did, told her to take some time out with her. So that was another kind of, something was going on. But still, again, not thinking of nothing evil, nothing demonic, nothing like that. But, we would take pictures. And especially, you take pictures in the house, just randomly taking pictures, kids taking pictures, whatever. But every little picture, it would be like an orb or something, some little light in there, still not thinking, But usually, we go back, we had went back to all this stuff, but the kids, they would be getting ready for school and they would take pictures. And the pictures that they would take in the master bedroom, it would be a whole bunch of them. And we thinking that it's just some little spots from the camera, from the lighting, it would be a lot of them things, a lot of orbs and stuff like that. And, wasn't thinking nothing. But, we started noticing that. That's when we started kind of like thinking like, man, something's going on in this house. Because there's these orbs, they like in pictures and stuff like that. So that was another thing that kind of like brought it up. So another one night, and I had my mom with she was living with us too at the time. Um, one night, it's about 2:30 in the morning. We had this big crash, boom, like something fell. Get up and go in the kitchen, and one of the kitchen tables and one of the kitchen chairs is on the ground, laying on his side. Like, how did this happen? I'm thinking, to me, I'm thinking that it's my dog. It's a big, cause he a big boy. I thought maybe he was just messing around in the kitchen and hit the chair and it fell over. And I'm like, man, and I told him, like, you need to sit down somewhere. I mean, I got to thinking, I'm like, there's no way that would have been him, because if that was him, I would have heard him get up out of his bed, because he was sleeping on the little couch thing in front of my bed. He would have had to get up out of the bed. I would have probably heard all that. How in the heck did this chair fall over? Still wasn't thinking that. Like, to me, I'm just blind, not thinking about all this. So, all this stuff it's just going on, just little random stuff that's happening in this house. So, it was one Sunday, because I would have to, on my job, to leave on Sundays, like I said, but I had to do something one Monday. I think I had to go to a doctor or something like that. So one Sunday night, uh, I didn't go to work. I had to go somewhere that Monday, but we had kicked it around the house, just chilling, doing, a little family thing, whatever. But got ready for bed. So this Sunday night, we in the bed. So this was probably maybe like around 11:30. So I'm just laying around, thinking about the stuff. We in bed now. It's pitch black. It's dark in the room, and I'm thinking about stuff that I gotta do tomorrow, the next day, Monday. I got this and this. I can do this. I can do that. While I'm off. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about it. So I'm laying, and we kind of like got our backs turned, towards each other. I'm facing one way and she facing another way. But so I'm just sitting up there and I'm, trying to doze out, go to sleep, and all of a sudden I feel like a little. It was like something like this, but it was closer to the shoulder. It was on my back, close to the shoulder, but it just went like that. I'm like, so what you touch me for? She's like, I ain't touch you. I said, you lying. You touched me. I felt it. She said, no, I ain't touch you. I ain't touch you. I was like, damn, what the hell? So I'm laying there and just something told me, just look over. Look behind your shoulder. I looked up, man, looked over on the side, man, and I swear, I put this on everything I love. It was a damn thing standing in a corner, and it was about like 10 to 12 feet tall, and it had like a robe on with the little hood, but you couldn't see the face. You couldn't see nothing. It was just standing there. I swear. If I'm lying, may God strike me now. I swear. So I'm like, damn, what the hell? So I turned around and I looked again, and it was there, and it was there. Pitch black now. You could see it. It was dark as hell in this room, but you could see the silhouette of it. You could see it. So I told her, girl, I said, hey, look over there and tell me, do you see anything? And she kind of raised up and looked, and she was like, yeah. I said, what you see? And she explained the same thing, robe, hood, everything. I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, hey, go turn the light on. She was like, I ain't getting up. I'm not turning the light on. I'm not. So we laid there a few minutes. And I was like, fuck it. I got up and I turned the light on. Wasn't nothing there. Shit you not. Wasn't nothing there. So I'm telling you, this is my experience. And I mean this. I'm telling you. So that happened, that little rub. A week later, my shoulder, it started feeling, it was hurting so bad. I mean, it was hurting really bad, like so bad that I could not raise it. Oh girl, sometimes she would have to help me put shirts on because I couldn't raise my shoulder, my right shoulder. After that happened. So I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, it would hurt. real bad for a few days, and then it would stop. Everything would feel good, and then. So the last time it did it probably about maybe 3, 4 times. Well, the fourth time, I'm telling you, it got to the point to where I just couldn't even, raise it up. I had to hold it to the side. I'm trying to drive around, do work, stuff like that, man, with this shoulder like that. I ended up going to the doctor behind. I went to the emergency room, and they just took X-rays. They couldn't really tell me nothing. So I ended up having to go and get an MRI. And I swear for God, man, when they had the MRI, I got the results back. They was like, "You got a torn rotator cuff." From what? I haven't done anything like that to hurt myself. I wasn't, I'm left-handed. This happened to my right hand. I throwing a ball, basketball, and then I doing none of that, wash cars, none of that. I'm left-handed. This happened to my right hand, where this demon, whatever it was, touched me. So, yeah, I ended up having to have surgery, man, for them to repair that cuff. I didn't do anything to hurt myself to, you know, have this type of injury. And only thing I can think of was this damn thing. It touched me and did something to my arm. And I swear for God, man, that's when I started believing, like, man, this is really real. That's my experience. That's what I had, man. So, you know, when that happened, the guy that we was renting the house from, he was trying to get us to buy it. He was like, you know, I'm renting this house for a certain amount of money, but if you just add this amount of money extra with this rent within a year, you'll have the down payment, and I could just start, processing the paperwork or whatever, whatever, whatever. And we was really thinking about doing it, man. Then we started second guessing, like, nah, you know, I don't think we need to do this. And on top of that, we wasn't married or nothing like that. And I didn't want to try to end up getting this house with somebody and then this relationship don't work. But we wasn't thinking about stuff like that. But I'm like, uh, no, I don't know if I want to do this, because of the things that we experienced in this house. But he was the guy. He was like, man, yeah, just do it. I'll try to do whatever I can to help you. Say he was getting ready to retire. So, like I said, he was an older gentleman. He wanted to start selling off his properties. Wanted to retire, but this is you know this is like the last kind of experience that we had. So, my mom, she had some property in Alabama, and she had a home, and then her mom. Both of the homes were empty because she was staying with me. She got, to the age where, she wanted to, she needed someone around. She had stopped driving. But anyways, so the guy, he hits me up. I think it was like on a Thursday or something. He was like, "Hey, I got somebody that's wanting to look at the property. Is it all right if we come by Saturday morning?" I was like, "Yeah, fine, sure." So, we had planned on getting up, straightening up, have everybody up and dressed. So, we wanted to be presentable for the people that was coming to look at the house. Well, come Saturday, this is like really crazy because usually like on Saturdays, the kids, she had, a smaller kid, smaller little girl. She had just maybe started. I think she was in pre-K then, and usually on Saturday they, kids get up and they want to watch cartoons, eat breakfast and stuff. We was usually up. I get up early and try to wash the cars or something like that before the sun before it gets too hot. So I'm always up, but for some reason this Saturday, man, everybody, including my mother, everybody stayed asleep. I mean, we stayed asleep. So here it is. maybe this is Saturday afternoon. I can remember. It's like it was like 2:15. My mom comes and knocks on the door, bedroom door, and she's like, "Hey, ain't that guy supposed to come over here and show this house? Don't we need to get up?" And I'm like, "Oh man, what time is it?" I looked over. It's 2:15, man. You know what I'm saying? We all still asleep, and this is not normal for us. Usually somebody is up. I'm usually up watching cars or something like that. The kids are watching TV, doing like, but we all stayed asleep. I look at my phone. I got like 16 missed calls from this man. And he's like leaving messages like, I'm at your door, I'm knocking, I'm knocking, I'm knocking, you know what I'm saying? In our bedroom door, our bedroom, the master bedroom was close to the front door. So it had doorbell, ring doorbell, knocking, knocking. Nobody heard nothing. Nothing. It happened that Saturday. He was that was something, man. I was like, oh my God, this whatever is in this house, are they trying to trap us here? Did they not, you know what I'm saying? Because why were we all like we was just like all in a trance? Everybody sleep. Nobody wakes up until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We was supposed to have been up at at 8 o'clock, maybe 7, trying to get up and get this house, straightened up. Like it wasn't really dirty, but we wanted to get every look presentable. You know what I mean? So this man is standing there with these people that's wanting to come in and see this house. They can't just come in, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a violation. You know what I'm saying? Even though he is the owner, but we still are there. You know what I mean? Or he can't just come in. He still has to have our permission. So I'm like, man, I had to call him back. I'm like, sir, I'm sorry, I don't know what it was. Everybody was just overstuffed. But anyways, he ended up, bringing the people over. They saw the house. But I mean, that was really crazy. And I'm telling you, the energy in this house, man, it was terrible. Like I said, we started noticing every little thing. From the attitudes to these little noises that we would hear. You know what I mean? And another thing, I'm gonna tell you this too. So uh, when we first got into the house, we were having problems because they have like these little side vents at the top of the house, but we would start seeing these bats, and they would be flying, and then next thing you know, they would disappear. And her son, he walked around to the side of the house one day, and I mean, that vent was just covered with bats. So he started getting this BB gun, and shooting them and shooting them and shooting them. But he ended up having to get somebody, paying somebody to go up in the attic, man, and get all these bats. It was like a whole. The attic was covered with bats. You know what I'm saying? This house was just, it was terrible. The energies. I mean, a lot of we would, people, we would sit up there and have like little arguments for nothing. It was one time that it was just the girl that I was dating. My mom, they had some words, and my mom was like, "No, I can't take this no more." You know what I'm saying? So I mean, she wanted to get up out of there, but once we got up out of there, we everything felt so much better. And like I said, I don't know if anybody has really actually purchased this home and stayed in it, but I was up there a few years in that town a couple of years ago, and um, I've, the house was up for sale again. So the people, I guess, whoever got it in two. That's what I said. This happened between 2014 to 2016. So it ain't no telling how many people has tried to get this house and experience these things. And they're like, nope, I'm out of here. Even if they take losses, you know what I'm saying. But that it was just terrible, man. That whole area, the neighborhood. But that one house, man, man. So I can honestly say, man, when people sit here and talk about things like this, I used to say, man, that's bull crap. I don't believe that. That's all cap, man. But no, no. Now I can honestly say, man, when people start talking about that, I feel 'em. I believe 'em. I will never doubt that situation again, man. So that was my little experience on it. Hey, you guys, if y'all have ever had any experience like this or something, leave down in the comments. know what I'm saying? Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will be talking a little bit more whenever I get to um, like these videos that kind of relate to some stuff that I've experienced. I will break down parts of my life, during this. That's why I wanted to uh, share this video with you guys. But hey, you let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Have y'all ever experienced anything like this? You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe out there.